Hi there, this is Alexis Piazza, 8th grade math and science teacher at Gabriella Charter School. Since I will not be there next year, I am creating this screencast to help teachers figure out how you can solicit feedback from many teachers and compile it in a way that's very easy to share with all your students on a weekly basis. This was a system that me and my co-teacher used to get and give feedback to all of our students every week, and it was an important part of the way we ask students to reflect and set goals on a weekly basis. So in order to do this, we did this completely electronically using Google Docs, and I had a Google spreadsheet that I would create a copy of each week before I shared it with teachers to edit. So I'd go to my drive. I had a master document. Let me find it. You can see the ones from each week, but I'm looking for the master, which is right. Might have scrolled by it. There it is. It's at the very top. When I click it, this is the master document that I will make a copy of to share with the teachers. It has a column for the print date. This is the date that I'll print it and give it to each of the students. The last and the first name for each student. A column for the homeroom. And then a column for feedback from each teacher. So from me, my partner teacher, the dance teachers, elective teachers. Arguably, we probably could have had a fifth column for IAs, maybe another column for administrators, but it's just a way to try to solicit feedback from multiple sources. Notice that there's also two tabs, one tab for one homeroom, Lewis and Clark, another tab for another homeroom, Claremont McKenna. So before I edit this, I want to create a separate version that I can edit without touching the master. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to File and Make a Copy. I'm going to change the title to be specific to this week. So let's say that I wanted to print these out on June 1st, 2013. I also want to copy the document collaborator, so that means anybody who could have edited the master can also edit this version. I'll click OK. Should make a spreadsheet that looks exactly the same. The only thing that's different is now it has the date that I will be publishing these on, which is the date that I'll give them to students. And this way I can share this with the teachers, they're going to edit it, and it won't affect the original. So I can close this version, which is the original, go back to my new version, which we're going to edit this week, and the one thing I'll change before I share it with teachers is the date. I want these to be printed out on June 1st, 2013, so I'll make sure all the print dates reflect that. I'll say June 1st, then I'll do the same thing for the other homeroom. I'll say June 1st. And now I have a blank document that I can share with teachers to solicit and to give feedback throughout the week. You can see everyone who is in the master document has already been shared this document, but if I wanted to add other teachers, I could add my partner teacher, maybe the art teacher, etc., and share it with them so that they can edit it. Click Done, and that's what it looks like. At the beginning of the week, this is a blank document, but throughout the week, each of these teachers enters feedback for every single one of the students. Some teachers will use kind of generic comments and only use one of 3 comments, and it makes it very efficient for them. Some teachers prefer to provide more individualized comments for every student. Whatever the case may be, this is essentially an open space for each teacher to leave feedback. Alright, so let's say you create this at the beginning of the week. I usually would create this Friday afternoon so that teachers would have all week to submit feedback before the following Friday. And then I want to show you what you would do after you have this document filled. So let me use an older version. If I find an old one of mine, let's say May 10th. This is a bad example because we were testing. Let me use a different week. Let's say a few weeks before that, April 19th. Okay. So here's a good example where we were able to get feedback from all the teachers. It's completely filled in. And so you can see I left comments for every single student this week. So did my partner teacher. So did some of the dance teachers. And so did the elective teacher. So these are comments from the arts teacher. And so that means each student has got feedback from at least 4 teachers, which is a really powerful tool for them to think about, okay, how did I do this week? What are some things I'm doing well? What are some things I need to improve? There are both homerooms, so the same feedback for both homerooms. As you can see, the elective teacher for this homeroom didn't contribute, but we had close to every teacher participate. And now what I want to do so that I can merge this into letters and one-page documents that I can give to each student is I need to export this into an Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to go to File, Download As, Microsoft Excel, and it's going to give me an XLS document. That's the new format for an Excel spreadsheet, which I can now export, and this is what it looks like as an Excel spreadsheet. Before I merge this, and I'm not sure why this is, at least for me, I need to be able to convert it to an XLS instead of an XLSX for me to be able to save this. So I'm going to go to the appropriate folder. I'll go to my main April 19th folder. I'll save it as a .xls so that I can merge it later. I don't know why it requires this, but if you try XLSX, it just doesn't seem to work for the merging. Alright, click Save. And now I have a document that I should be able to export into one of my Word documents, which I'll show you now. So I'm going to close this, and now I'm going to open a pretty simple one-page document that I export into every week. And it's a pretty fast process. If I can just find it. It'll take me a moment. And the master looks like this. Alright. So on a weekly basis I'm exporting into this document. It's pretty bare bones at this point. At the top it includes the last and the first name of the student, the date it's going to be printed, and then a space for comments from each of those 4 teachers, which corresponds with a different column in the Google Doc. All of this stuff will be populated based on what was in that spreadsheet. These boxes will be left empty because this is a space where students set goals based on that evidence, where they track progress towards their goals throughout their week, and when they write a brief reflection considering how they did on their goals that week. At the end of the week they get this signed along with their parents, and it's a weekly cycle that we've been doing every week since the start of the year. So the goal is to be able to merge all this stuff in this Google Doc into this Word document. So in order to do that, first I need to open a data source. So I go to Get List, Open Data Source, and I'm going to try to find the spreadsheet that I saved as an XLS. This was April 19th. Here's the version that I just saved. So I'm going to open it. It says this file needs to be opened by Excel. I don't really know what this means. I just click OK, it still works. And before I export it, before I merge it, I'm going to have to merge it twice. So I have to merge it for one homeroom, and then I'll have to do it again for the other homeroom, Clarence McKenna. But I'll start with Lewis and Clark. I click OK. And now it's ready to populate all these things because I've made this form so that it corresponds with the column headings of every column in the Google Doc. I go to Complete Merge. This is the Merge button. I'm going to merge it. And then it's going to spit out 26 letters. One from every student in that homeroom. One from Kevin, one from Andy, one from Brandon, etc. Alright, and there's a total of 26 pages here because that's how many students are in the homeroom. What I would do next is I would save this as just a regular Word doc. I would email it to all my colleagues so that they had a copy of it, and then I would print these out so that I could hand them to every student. This is what they would use to set goals for the upcoming week. I'm not done because I have to do it again for the opposite homeroom, so I'm going to close it, go back to this original master document, and before I merge again I'm going to get the list, open the data source again, open the same spreadsheet, but this time I'm going to switch to the other homeroom. I click that, click OK, and now when I merge it I should see the other set of students. So instead of Kevin Aguilar, it's Dana Arteaga, and then Rubith, and then Hidayah. All students from a different homeroom. Again, I would save these, email them out to my colleagues, print them out, and then I'd be able to give one to every single student on Friday. In order to repeat the cycle, I would just have to do exactly what I did throughout this video all over again. So let's say this week is full, I would close it and leave it for posterity so I wouldn't want to touch it again. I'd go back to my master document, create a new copy, save it for the next week, share it with teachers, and repeat the cycle. So as you can see, this takes about 10 minutes, all said and done, to compile everybody's feedback, turn it into letters that you can hand to students, and then print them out. So on Friday mornings, I gave myself, I always planned an extra 10 minutes where I could do this, and I was reliably able to do this throughout the year, every single Friday morning, assuming everyone had contributed feedback, so that I could print them out and give them to students. So in addition to whatever time it would take to actually leave feedback, some teachers would do it more efficiently than others. You'd have to plan another 10 minutes to actually do the merging and printing, which is really not that time-consuming given the alternatives. A note about this structure, the structure we used in 8th grade was essentially just open-ended feedback from all 4 teachers. You easily could add components, so you could add a numerical component where each teacher could give a score, and the more comfortable you are with Google spreadsheets or with Excel, you could probably do some functions where it totals the score, finds the average of the score, etc. But this is a pretty simple way to do it, in order to get feedback from each teacher. I hope this helps you create or modify this to work for yourself. I think we found that this was just a very efficient, reliable way to make sure that we could get get feedback from many teachers, do it quickly, and do it in a way that just didn't kill ourselves. I hope this helps. Good luck. Bye.